What if I told you there's an SUV on the road today that regularly outlasts Hondas, yet sits on dealer lots month after month? A vehicle that proves durability isn't just about resale value, but real-world longevity, and it can be had used for around $8,000. But here's the twist: nobody seems to want it. In a market where Hondas dominate reliability rankings, this overlooked SUV quietly racks up miles well past 200,000, with owners reporting engines and drivetrains outliving many competitors. Consumer surveys and owner forums consistently show this model scoring above average in long-term reliability, even compared to a stalwart like the CR-V. Yet year after year, it fails to capture attention, rarely makes top lists, and often sells for 20 to 30% less than comparable used SUVs, despite its proven endurance. So why is this SUV being ignored? Is it the styling, the brand reputation, or something deeper like perception, marketing, and the power of badges? In this video, we're uncovering the surprising SUV that beats Honda at their own game, why it stays cheap even with miles on the clock, and exactly what you should know before dismissing it like everyone else. This isn't just a story about price or mileage, it's about how automotive knowledge can bury one of the most underrated SUVs on the road today. About the Honda CR-V. The Honda CR-V is one of the most well-known small SUVs in the world today. It is a compact sport utility vehicle that many families, commuters, and everyday drivers choose because it feels easy to use and reliable. The CR-V is built so that it fits the needs of many people who want a vehicle that can handle city traffic, open road driving, and everyday errands without much stress or worry. It is the kind of vehicle that most people can drive without feeling overwhelmed by complicated controls or rough handling. When you look at the CR-V, you see a design that is smooth and functional. Its shape is not too large but still gives good room inside the cabin. The interior is simple, clean, and designed for comfort. The seats are usually soft and supportive, so long drives do not feel uncomfortable. The cargo area in the back is spacious compared with many other vehicles in the same class. This means you can carry luggage, groceries, or sports gear without needing an extra trailer or roof box. Many drivers like this feature because it makes life easier when moving things from place to place. Under the hood, the Honda CR-V uses efficient engines. Most models use a 4-cylinder engine that balances power with fuel economy. Some newer versions even use hybrid systems that combine a gasoline engine with an electric motor, giving even better fuel use, especially for drivers who do a lot of city driving. One real-world test showed that a plug-in hybrid CR-V averaged around 46 miles per gallon with a flat battery that is better than some competitors in similar tests. Every Honda CR-V comes with a continuously variable transmission (CVT). The CVT is a type of automatic transmission that changes through an unlimited number of gear ratios. In simple words, it makes the car feel smooth when you accelerate. Some drivers do not like the sound it makes because it keeps the engine speed steady, which can sound unusual. But most people say it helps improve fuel economy and makes daily driving easy. Safety is an important part of the CR-V's design. Most CR-Vs come with Honda's Honda Sensing Safety Suite as standard equipment. This includes many driver assistance features such as automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, traffic sign recognition, blind spot monitoring on later models, and a driver attention monitor. These features help drivers stay aware of their surroundings and avoid accidents. In crash tests, versions with full safety equipment often receive the highest star ratings, showing the vehicle does a good job protecting people inside. When it comes to price, the Honda CR-V is not a cheap car when new. Newer models often have base prices in the mid-range for compact SUVs. For example, recent model year CR-Vs had retail prices roughly between $24,400 and $50,000 depending on trim level and options. This means that new buyers should expect to pay an amount similar to other popular SUVs like Toyota RAV4 or Mazda CX-5. For people who want to buy the CR-V used, there are many older models on the market. Older CR-Vs from earlier years often sell for much lower prices than new ones. For instance, some used models from the early 2010s can be found for less than $10,000 in many markets if they have higher mileage. This makes the CR-V a common choice for used car buyers looking for a reliable SUV on a tighter budget. One of the CR-V's main strong points is its reputation for reliability. Many drivers say that the CR-V lasts for many years and many miles without major problems. Industry ratings often show it as above average in reliability compared with other SUVs. RepairPal, for example, gives many CR-V model years a reliability score of 4.5 out of 5, placing it among the stronger performers in its class. This high score means the car is likely to have fewer major mechanical issues than many competitors. Experts also note that regular maintenance is key to keeping a CR-V running well for a long time. Routine oil changes, tire rotations, and basic service work help the engine and other parts continue working smoothly. If you keep up with these maintenance tasks, many CR-Vs can continue running well past 150,000 miles or more, which is longer than many drivers need a car to last. While its reliability is good, some older CR-V models do have specific issues that are worth knowing about. For example, some earlier models had problems with the cooling system or sensors that could leak oil. Older reports also point to transmission designs from certain years that may have needed special care or flushing to avoid issues. These problems are not universal, but they show why inspecting a used CR-V carefully before buying is always a good idea. Meanwhile, there's an SUV that can do better than it and is also cheaper. A better comparison: built to last. The Toyota 4Runner is a mid-size sport utility vehicle made by Toyota that many people describe as tough and durable. It is different from many other SUVs because it uses a body-on-frame design, which means the vehicle sits on a separate frame like a pickup truck rather than having the body and frame built as one piece. This design gives the 4Runner strong strength and makes it good for harsh use and off-road driving. The 4Runner has been in production since the 1980s and still uses many of the same basic mechanical ideas, even in modern models. One of the main qualities that many drivers appreciate about the Toyota 4Runner is its reliability and long life. Third-party sources report that the 4Runner typically earns above-average reliability rankings compared with other mid-size SUVs. The 4Runner has a long history of being able to go many miles with relatively few major mechanical problems. Some owners report their 4Runners lasting over 200,000 miles with only standard maintenance, and a few examples are known to exceed even 300,000 or 400,000 miles before needing major repairs. The engine choices for the 4Runner remain simple and traditional. Older generations of the 4Runner are best known for using a 4.0-liter V6 engine, which provides a good balance of power and longevity. This engine type is naturally aspirated, meaning it does not use a turbocharger, and Toyota is known for making these engines sturdy and long-lasting. The simpler design reduces complexity, and fewer parts can fail, making it easier to maintain for many years. In newer models, Toyota has refreshed the SUV with updated features, but the focus on durability is still central to its identity. Unlike many modern SUVs that focus on comfort and fuel efficiency, the Toyota 4Runner is built more for utility and capability. It typically uses standard four-wheel drive and high ground clearance across most trims, giving it true off-road ability that many crossover SUVs lack. The suspension and drivetrain are designed to handle rough terrain and heavy use, making it attractive for outdoor activities such as camping, hiking, and trail driving. Because of this rugged design, the 4Runner does not get great fuel economy compared with car-based SUVs. The 4Runner's interior layout and comfort are functional but not luxurious. The cabin is roomy and practical, with easy-to-use controls and plenty of cargo space. Many owners enjoy this simple layout because there are fewer features that can break or malfunction over time. When it comes to technology, some older 4Runners may lack the latest infotainment or driver assist gadgets found on newer crossovers, which is part of why some buyers feel these vehicles are a bit dated inside. When it comes to price, the Toyota 4Runner is not usually cheap on the used market compared with other SUVs that depreciate faster. According to Consumer Reports data on pricing from recent years, older 4Runners from the early 2000s could sell in the range of $6,000 to $8,000, especially 2007 and earlier models. These older vehicles offer buyers a chance to find a 4Runner in a lower price bracket if they look for early generations. However, vehicles in good condition with modern amenities and lower mileage usually sell for far more. Because the Toyota 4Runner holds its value well, many used models that are just a few years old still sell for prices not far below their original sticker price. The 4Runner's resale value retention is remarkable. Data from Automotive Insights show that a 4Runner can retain over 60% of its value after 5 years, which is much higher than many competitors. This means that buyers who keep a 4Runner for many years may get more of their money back if they sell it later, compared with many other SUVs. Another important detail about the Toyota 4Runner is that it is loved by a wide range of buyers. Outdoor enthusiasts often pick the 4Runner not only for its off-road ability but also because it can carry gear, tow trailers, and handle rough paths with confidence. Families that enjoy outdoor travel find the 4Runner practical because its cargo space and rugged build make long trips more reliable. Because the 4Runner is built to be durable, many owners feel confident taking it into areas where a typical crossover SUV might struggle. The Toyota 4Runner's long life often comes from simple yet strong engineering. Many of the drivetrain components, such as the engine and transmission, come from Toyota's truck lineup, which is known for its durability in harsh conditions. This shared engineering helps the 4Runner continue running well after many years and miles. For many buyers, this kind of longevity outweighs the lack of modern bells and whistles. Still, there are two main factors that mostly influence a buyer's choice: the paradox of value versus popularity. When people talk about buying a used SUV, two ideas come up again and again: value and popularity. These two are not always the same. A vehicle can have excellent value because it lasts a long time and holds its price well, but it may not be as popular as other models that are easier to drive, more comfortable, or simply more familiar to everyday buyers. This is the paradox of value versus popularity in the used SUV market. To understand this paradox, it helps to look at how people make buying decisions and how the market responds to those choices. First, value in the used SUV market usually refers to a combination of longevity, durability, and resale value. This means a vehicle is likely to stay running for many years with basic maintenance, and if you sell it later, you recoup a good portion of what you paid. The Toyota 4Runner is a good example of this kind of value. A strong reason the 4Runner holds its value so well is its reputation for reliability and toughness, especially with its traditional body-on-frame design and off-road capability. This strong resale value reflects how buyers view the vehicle's lifespan and strength. Oddly enough, popularity does not always follow value. Popularity is shaped by how many people want to buy a vehicle and how often those vehicles appear in everyday life. Vehicles that sell in large numbers also maintain strong visibility in the used market because more of them are out there for sale. For example, compact SUVs like the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4 are among the best-selling vehicles in the world, with enormous production numbers and widespread presence on lots around the world. So why does a vehicle with high value like the 4Runner sometimes seem less popular than a CR-V? One reason is market segment and everyday use. Most buyers in the used SUV market are not looking for extreme off-road capability or the construction that the 4Runner offers. Many everyday buyers want smooth handling, better fuel efficiency, and modern tech features that make commuting or city driving easy and pleasant. Vehicles like the Honda CR-V deliver this kind of daily comfort, making them more attractive to a broader range of buyers. Another reason is supply and demand dynamics. The Toyota 4Runner is produced in relatively limited numbers compared with mainstream crossovers. Toyota does not build as many 4Runners each year as it does RAV4S or other compact SUVs, which means there are simply fewer 4Runners available on the used market. A smaller supply can keep prices high, but it also means fewer people buy them in general, which reduces the overall volume of sales compared with models that are produced in much greater numbers. A related reason for the paradox is buyer priorities. Not every buyer sees a tough, rugged SUV as their top priority. Many used car buyers focus first on things like fuel economy, comfort, interior technology, and the availability of advanced safety features. These features matter greatly when people use a car for daily commutes, school runs, or long highway trips. Vehicles like Honda CR-V often have features such as efficient hybrid powertrains, modern infotainment systems, and adaptive safety technology that appeal to these priorities more than the simple, rugged design of the 4Runner. Popularity is also driven by ease of ownership and familiarity. When a vehicle type is seen everywhere on the road, in advertisements, and in friends' driveways, people tend to trust it more. The Honda CR-V has this advantage because it has been one of the most common compact SUVs for years. It sells in huge numbers globally, making it familiar, easy to finance, and easy to find parts or maintenance advice. These factors add to its popularity because buyers feel more confident about their purchase. Meanwhile, buyers interested in a 4Runner often need a more specific purpose, which limits its appeal to a narrower audience. Of course, there are buyers who highly value the 4Runner's unique strengths, and that value is reflected in high resale prices and strong demand within certain buyer groups. Many 4Runner owners are very loyal and will choose that model generation after generation because they appreciate its capabilities and rugged nature. This loyalty among a dedicated niche makes the 4Runner valuable, but it does not always translate into broad popularity among average buyers. There is also an emotional factor at work. Many buyers choose vehicles based on brand perception and trends rather than pure logical value. For example, SUVs with modern designs, hybrid options, and smooth, car-like driving experiences often seem more appealing to the average buyer than traditional, rugged SUVs, even if those rugged SUVs offer better mechanical longevity. In other words, perception affects popularity even when the real value may be higher in the less popular vehicle. Finally, dealers often respond to the trends they see in sales. Because mainstream crossovers like the CR-V sell quickly and attract a wide range of buyers, dealers stock more of them. This increased visibility reinforces their popularity, creating a feedback loop where popular models stay more visible and easier to sell, while less common but high-value vehicles like the 4Runner remain niche choices despite their strengths. This paradox shows that the best value vehicle in terms of longevity is not always the most popular or highest selling in absolute terms, even if many passionate owners swear by its enduring quality. However, for some reasons, buyers still do not choose a Toyota 4Runner despite its longevity. Disadvantages of driving a Toyota 4Runner. The Toyota 4Runner is famous for lasting a long time and being very durable. Many owners say their 4Runners run for decades and hundreds of thousands of miles with basic care. This strong reliability is one of its biggest strengths. However, even though the 4Runner can outlast many other SUVs, many buyers still decide not to choose it. There are many reasons for this, including comfort, fuel use, handling, repair costs, and how it feels to drive. These factors often matter more to everyday buyers than durability alone. One of the biggest reasons people skip the 4Runner is its poor fuel economy. The 4Runner uses a large engine and heavy frame that are not designed for fuel efficiency. Most models have an average fuel economy of around 15 to 17 miles per gallon in real-world driving. This means drivers spend more money on gas compared with many other SUVs, especially crossovers with modern engines and transmissions. Drivers who use their SUVs mainly for daily commuting or long highway travel often prefer vehicles with better gas mileage to lower their ongoing costs. Fuel use is especially important in areas where gas prices are high. When a vehicle has low miles per gallon, daily driving becomes expensive. For many buyers, the extra cost of fuel outweighs the benefit of the 4Runner's durability. Even if the vehicle lasts for many years, the total cost of owning it over time can become high because of fuel spending. Another reason is the outdated driving experience. The 4Runner's body on frame design gives it toughness, but it also makes the ride feel rough and truck-like. Many drivers say the 4Runner feels stiff over bumps, and noise from the road and wind enters the cabin easily. Compared with modern SUVs that ride smoothly like a car, the 4Runner feels old-fashioned and less comfortable, especially on paved roads and long trips. In everyday driving, this rough feel can be a big downside. Most SUVs are used mainly on city streets, highways, and paved roads. Because the 4Runner is built more for off-road driving, it sacrifices comfort for strength. Drivers who spend most of their time on paved surfaces often prefer vehicles that feel quieter and smoother. Visibility and handling are two more areas where the 4Runner is not ideal for everyone. Because of its tall, boxy shape and thick window pillars, the 4Runner can have large blind spots. This means drivers may have trouble seeing other cars or objects in certain directions. Parking and merging in traffic can feel harder than in many other SUVs with better sightlines. People who drive in busy cities or tight parking lots especially notice this problem. When a driver has trouble seeing clearly out of the vehicle, it can make everyday driving stressful. The interior design of the 4Runner is another reason some buyers avoid it. Although many people appreciate that the cabin is simple and functional, others see it as too basic and outdated. Older 4Runners often lack modern technology and convenience features that buyers expect today, such as large touchscreens, wireless smartphone connectivity like wireless Apple CarPlay, and advanced driver assist systems. While newer model years are improving in this area, many used 4Runners, especially those priced lower, still have older interiors. Drivers who want the latest tech and a more premium feel often look at other SUVs that offer better infotainment systems, more comfortable seating, and modern safety features. Repair and ownership costs can also be a concern for some buyers. Even though the 4Runner is known for reliability, some repairs can be more expensive than on other SUVs. According to data from owner surveys, many drivers say that routine repairs and maintenance on a 4Runner can still add up over time. Some owners report that annual maintenance and repair costs average around $400 to $500 or more, which is similar to or slightly higher than many mid-size SUVs. Rust and corrosion are additional issues that buyers need to watch for, especially in older models or those used in areas with salty roads. Frame rust in a 4Runner can be serious and trigger expensive repairs. Because of this, buyers often have to budget extra for rust prevention or repairs when looking at older used models. Older 4Runners can also have mechanical quirks that require careful attention. Some used models suffer from issues like transmission shifting problems, brake wear, electrical faults, and suspension component wear. While many of these do not happen often, they can affect the vehicle's drivability and maintenance cost over time. The 4Runner's handling and driving dynamics also make it less appealing for many buyers. Vehicles with unibody designs, where the body and frame are one piece, tend to handle more naturally on paved roads. The 4Runner's truck-like frame and older transmission design can make it feel less refined in daily driving. Drivers often notice heavier steering, slower acceleration, and less responsive braking compared with modern SUVs that use more advanced suspension and transmission systems. This difference is especially clear when comparing the 4Runner to SUVs with 8-speed or 10-speed transmissions that improve smoothness, acceleration, and fuel economy. The 4Runner's older transmission systems can feel slower and less refined in comparison, making it feel like a truck rather than a modern SUV. Meanwhile, some people simply do not need the 4Runner's off-road abilities. The 4Runner's strong design is great for rugged terrain, camping, and outdoor use, but most SUV buyers use their vehicles mainly on paved roads. For daily commuting, school runs, and grocery trips, a smoother, more comfortable crossover SUV often makes more sense. Buyers who never go off the beaten path may view the 4Runner's capabilities as unnecessary, making other vehicles more attractive. So what do all these mean for buyers looking to purchase an SUV? Choosing smart in the SUV market. When someone decides to buy a used SUV, what it means goes far beyond simply picking the first vehicle they see that looks good or fits their budget. A used SUV can offer excellent value for money because it avoids the immediate drop in price that happens with new cars as soon as they are driven off the lot. Most new vehicles lose a large part of their value in the first few years, sometimes 20% to 35% within the first year alone. So buying used allows you to avoid that early depreciation and save a lot of money right away. The first thing buyers realize is that the purchase price is only one part of the story. What you pay for the SUV upfront is important, but the money you spend after buying it, such as fuel, repairs, insurance, and maintenance, adds up over time. A key part of smart used buying is understanding these ongoing costs before you make a deal. SUVs often cost more to maintain than smaller cars because of their bigger engines and heavier weight, so you need to think about things like tire replacement, suspension work, and higher fuel use. Another major idea that buyers must understand is vehicle history. A used SUV may look perfect at a glance, but its past can reveal hidden problems if you dig deeper. Checking a vehicle history report from services like Carfax or AutoCheck helps you learn about previous collisions, number of owners, title issues, and whether regular maintenance was done on time. These reports act like a window into the SUV's life, so you can avoid cars that were badly treated or have major problems that might resurface later. Inspection is part of this deeper look. Even if the history report looks clean, a professional mechanic can find issues that are hard to notice with a simple visual check. Mechanics examine the engine, transmission, brakes, suspension, and body condition, and they can tell you if something looks worn out or unsafe. This step is especially important for SUVs that may have been used in rough conditions or driven hard, as wear in those cases can be hidden and costly to fix. Buyers also need to pay attention to age and mileage in a balanced way. People often think that low mileage is always better, but that is not always true. An older SUV with slightly higher mileage but a strong service history can sometimes be a better choice than a newer one that was driven hard or poorly maintained. The best used SUVs tend to be those that are not too old, have reasonable mileage, and have been cared for regularly. Another part of the decision is resale value. Some SUV models lose value faster than others. Toyota and Honda vehicles are known for keeping their value well, so buying one can mean you lose less money when it's time to sell or trade it in. Knowing which models hold value helps you pick a vehicle that still feels like a good investment years later. Before you commit to buying, test driving the SUV is essential. Driving gives you a real sense of how the vehicle feels on the road and whether it meets your daily needs. Pay attention to how the engine responds, how smoothly the transmission shifts, how the brakes feel, and whether there are any unusual noises or vibrations. Driving the SUV on different types of roads, city streets, highways, and even rougher surfaces reveals much more than pictures or descriptions alone. Some buyers choose certified pre-owned CPO SUVs because they come with added protection. These vehicles are inspected and approved by the manufacturer or dealer and usually have extended warranties or roadside assistance plans. While CPO SUVs often cost more upfront than regular used ones, they offer more peace of mind because they have been vetted to meet certain standards. Whether a buyer chooses a CPO model or a standard used one depends on their budget, risk tolerance, and how long they intend to keep the vehicle. It is also important to think about fuel costs, something many buyers overlook until after the purchase. SUVs tend to use more fuel than smaller cars, so choosing a model with better fuel economy can save you a significant amount of money over the life of the vehicle. Some buyers even prioritize hybrid SUVs for this reason, as they combine cargo space and utility with better fuel efficiency. Insurance costs are part of the total picture too. Newer or more expensive SUVs may cost more to insure, while older used SUVs sometimes have lower insurance rates. Checking insurance quotes before buying lets you include that cost in your budget and avoid surprises later. Ultimately, what this all means for used buyers is that careful research and preparation make the difference between a great purchase and a costly mistake. Buying a used SUV without fully understanding its past, total cost of ownership, and how it feels to drive can lead to regret and unexpected bills. A wise used SUV buyer does not rush. They learn about the vehicles they are interested in, compare models, and weigh their lifestyle needs against what each vehicle can offer. They understand that a cheap price tag is only worth it if the SUV is safe, reliable, and fits their real-world use. When buyers approach the market with patience and knowledge, they often end up with a used SUV that feels like a smart investment and one that helps them save money, meet their needs, and avoid future headaches. If this breakdown changed how you think about luxury, let us know in the comments. Which of these brand models do you think is more reliable? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button. Subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive into the hidden dynamics of wealth, status, and the brands desperately trying to capture both. Because in luxury, nothing is permanent.